Hey, my name is Jared Sagal, and I am the director of the Young Ronaldo series. And welcome to my director's commentary video. Today I'm going to be talking about Young Ronaldo Part 5. So the opening scene was shot in a place called Steins, New Mexico. It's actually a ghost town. It's a deserted ghost town on the way from Arizona back to Las Cruces, New Mexico, which is where I'm from and my co-directing brother is from. And it's also where we filmed Young Ronaldo Part 1. Las Cruces, New Mexico is about 45 minutes from El Paso, Texas, so it's near the border, and we thought it would be a great location to film Young Ronaldo Part 1 and a lot of Young Ronaldo Part 5. So when you see Simon here standing on the railroad tracks, this is in an actual ghost town in Steins, New Mexico. A little bit of trick photography here. When Simon is actually looking at his phone in the car, there's actually nothing on the phone that he's looking at. What I did was superimpose the amazing Cristiano Ronaldo bicycle kick, so it looks like he's actually watching it on his phone. He's really not watching it in real life. It's always kind of funny to shoot some of these scenes like at this gas station. We did it a couple times. I had my brother, who plays the agent, pull up to the pump, and I didn't get it in focus at one point, so I had to tell him to go back, pull back up to the pump. Obviously, there are people that always stop and watch and wonder what we're doing, because now there's a guy with a soccer ball juggling at a gas station. So there is a lot of curiosity that goes on when you're shooting guerrilla style like this. But luckily enough, Simon was able to do this fairly easy. He's used to it. He's done 4 of these already before Young Ronaldo Part 5, so he's a seasoned veteran at this point. Alright, so for this epic scene of juggling over the gas truck, I think it's a gas truck, I'm not sure what this is, can't remember. The truck pulls up and it actually got in the way of our shot, and we decided very quickly, like, hey, it would be really cool, Simon, if you could juggle the ball, run around the truck and catch it before it hits the ground. And he did it. It was pretty amazing. And then literally right after he did it, the truck moved away, so we really only had, I think, 1 shot at it, or one or 2 shots at it, and yeah, he pulled it off. Incredible. Pretty funny. We were at a rest area on the way to Las Cruces, New Mexico, and I needed the agent, my brother, to go into the restroom and then come back out of the restroom, so we had to do this about 5 or 6 times. He kept going into the bathroom, out of the bathroom. People that were looking from the outside obviously probably thought he had a stomach problem or something, but I kept having to go in, come on out. I'd have to scream, all right, come on in, come on out, you ready, action. And people were going, obviously this is in between people that really had to go to the bathroom and were shooting so we could get the shot, and it was, you know, this is just the way these things go. It's pretty funny. So for this scene, for the story, the ball had to get punctured by the cactus. So what we had to do was we had to deflate the ball with a needle, pretend that it got punctured, and then pump the ball back up. When we shot this dialogue scene, it was freezing cold. This was also in the ghost town of Steins, New Mexico, and it was super chilly, so my brother and Simon wanted to get this scene done as quickly as they could so we can get back into the car and turn the heat on. It definitely was freezing at this point. Is it weird being back here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. Have you talked to my grandma at all?
So as the car pulls up, this is actually my parents' home in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And this is actually my mom who was answering the door. She hated this scene because she felt like she looked really old and didn't look really that great. But, you know, these are the things that we sacrifice for art. Okay, so this was pretty funny when this scene when my mom, Simon's nanny in the film, Simon's grandma in the film, brings a glass of milk. Simon, I believe, if I remember correctly, he was actually thirsty and he wanted to drink the milk, but we weren't sure that the milk was still good because it has been known in our household growing up that things can stay a little bit overdue in the refrigerator. So as Simon's drinking the milk, I'm thinking to myself, I really hope that this milk is still good so we can continue to finish the film. It would have been a real bummer to get food poisoning this early in the shoot.
What is that?
This is Poppy when he was a young man.
That is actually a real life photo of Simon's grandfather and grandmother, my mom and my dad.
So we've been out on the road for a couple days. Do you want to kick a ball around or something?
Yeah. Do you still have Poppy's ball?
Yeah.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah, and so for those of you who remember right here, this is part of Young Ronaldo 1 where we filmed this at a cemetery in Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Where is it?
So this is actually our garage growing up in Las Cruces, New Mexico. My dad was not happy that I wanted to shoot in the garage because it is a disaster in there. You can see all these papers. This is actually what it looks like. There was no set design in this. It was just perfect for a crazy inventor's warehouse. So we decided to keep it as it was. You can see all the tobacco cans everywhere. My dad's a pipe smoker. All right, so here he is finding the mat that will change the world.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
Have some tea or?
Yeah.
You know where he is?
I think he's still sleeping.
Okay. Go check and see how he's doing.
Here comes Simon in with the mat, walking into the kitchen now. Watching this back, he didn't like this because he felt like the mat looked like a surfboard. And as I'm watching it back, I can see what he's talking about, but I'm not sure there was another or better way to hold the mat than he did. It gets a little strange to film scenes where you're filming something about your father that has died, but he's still alive, and where your mom in real life is talking about her husband being dead, but he's still very much alive. So these scenes can sometimes bring up some strange emotions for everybody involved. My dad is never thrilled about being the guy that's dead. In fact, he gets stopped sometimes on a soccer field and the kids will be like, oh yeah, you're the guy that died in Young Ronaldo and this and that. And we did this a couple different ways. We weren't sure what Simon was going to do in terms of the technical stuff during this scene, and I just let him freelance, and he did this thing where he put the ball in a shirt. I had never seen him do that before. I thought it was really cool, so we did that a couple times.
It's gotten a lot better.
Yep.
At this point, we're actually shooting in San Diego, California, where my brother lives, at a modern vintage shop. Friends of ours that we know, and they allowed us to film in there. It's pretty amazing. At the back of the shop, there's actually a rug store. So our friend Sergio, he decided that he would jump into character and be the rug expert. It's the first time I think he'd ever been on camera, but he did a great job. Oh, and who's this guy walking in? I think I'm wearing the same jacket. It's crazy. So because I'm not holding the camera now, I had to give it to my brother, and he's actually the one that's shooting the scenes of me being the development expert. I know what this is.